Most people believe that a lack of discipline means something is wrong with them, that they're lazy, weak, or simply not built for success. But the truth is far more uncomfortable. Discipline, as you understand it, was never meant to work. Not because you're broken, but because your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Your brain doesn't care about your long-term goals, your ambitions, or the life you want to build. It cares about survival, comfort, and efficiency. It is constantly scanning for the easiest path, the fastest reward, and the least amount of effort required to get it. And when you try to force discipline through motivation or willpower, you are essentially trying to override millions of years of evolution with temporary energy. That's why it works for a few days and then collapses. This is where most people get it wrong. They think discipline is about pushing harder, trying more, and staying strong when things get difficult. But in reality, the more you rely on willpower, the more you are setting yourself up to fail. Because willpower is unstable. It fluctuates based on your energy, your mood, your environment, and even how much sleep you got the night before. And eventually, your brain always returns to its default mode, choosing what is easy. That's not weakness. That's biology.
What actually separates disciplined people from everyone else has nothing to do with strength. It has everything to do with design. As James Clear explains, real discipline is not forced, it is built. The people who seem consistent are not more motivated than you. They have simply created systems that make the right behavior easier than the wrong one. They don't fight their brain, they work with it. Think about your daily life. You decide to start studying, working out, or building something meaningful, but your environment is designed for distraction. Your phone is always within reach, social media is one tap away, your bed is comfortable, your room is unstructured, and everything around you is optimized for convenience. So when the moment of action arrives, your brain doesn't choose based on your goals, it chooses based on what is easiest in that moment, and the easiest option almost always wins.
This is why environment is more powerful than motivation. Because behavior is not driven by intention, it is driven by accessibility. What is visible, what is easy, and what requires the least effort will always dominate your actions. If you want to read more, but your book is hidden in a drawer while your phone is in your hand, your brain has already made the decision before you even realize it. If you want to wake up early and work out, but your clothes are unprepared and your alarm is easy to snooze, you are not lacking discipline. You are operating in a system designed for failure. Disciplined people understand something most people ignore. They design their environment in a way that removes friction from good habits and adds friction to bad ones. They prepare before the moment of decision arrives. They make the right action obvious, easy, and automatic. Because once the decision becomes easy, the brain stops resisting. It simply follows. But even with the right environment, there is still one major challenge: starting. The hardest part of any habit is not doing it, it's beginning it. And this is where another powerful concept comes in. Instead of trying to build new habits from scratch, you attach them to habits that already exist. Your brain already runs on patterns. You wake up, brush your teeth, check your phone, eat your meals. These are automatic loops that require no effort. And if you connect a new habit to one of these existing actions, you reduce resistance instantly. For example, after brushing your teeth, you read 1 page. After sitting down with your coffee, you write for 2 minutes. After locking your door, you repeat your daily focus. These actions may seem small, almost insignificant, but they are powerful because they eliminate the need to decide. And once you remove the need to decide, consistency becomes much easier. This is something most people fail to understand. You don't need to do big things to become disciplined. You need to make small actions unavoidable. Because once you start, momentum takes over. And momentum is far more powerful than motivation. Motivation gets you started once. Momentum keeps you going. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Most people think procrastination means they are lazy, but that's not true. Procrastination is not a personality flaw. It is a design problem. When you avoid something, it's usually because the task feels too hard, too unclear, or too unrewarding. Your brain is simply choosing a better option in that moment. And if the better option is always distraction, then distraction will always win. This is why behavior change follows 4 simple rules. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. If a habit is hidden, boring, difficult, and unrewarding, your brain will reject it every time. But if you flip that, if the habit is visible, enjoyable, simple, and rewarding, your brain will naturally move toward it, no force required. And this leads to one of the biggest myths about discipline. You don't need to love the process. You don't need to feel motivated every day. You don't need to enjoy waking up early, working hard, or doing difficult things. What you need is a system that makes those actions inevitable. Because disciplined people don't rely on how they feel, they rely on structure. For psychology videos, imagine 2 scenarios. In one, you rely on motivation. You do things when you feel like it. Some days you're productive, most days you're not. In the other, your environment is set up in a way that pushes you toward the right action automatically. In that scenario, discipline is no longer a struggle. It becomes your default. And over time, something even deeper begins to change: your identity. Every small action you take becomes proof of the kind of person you are becoming. When you show up, even for 2 minutes, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who follows through. And that belief is more powerful than any strategy. Because in the end, discipline is not about forcing yourself to act. It is about becoming someone for whom the right action feels natural. Someone who doesn't rely on motivation, but on systems. Someone who doesn't fight their brain, but understands it. So stop asking why you have no discipline. That question keeps you stuck in blame. Instead, ask a better question. What system am I running? Because once you fix the system, discipline is no longer something you chase. It becomes something you live.